Hello. In the last few days, I've been asked by a young person what I thought of the march by school students and university students in the cities of Sydney. I said, look, I'm not well versed on the global warming area. Although it's usually referred to as climate change, I prefer global warming. And I'm a bit sceptical, though I do accept that all the things humans have done in the last 200 years could be affecting the Earth in a negative way. Now, probably are affecting the Earth rather than could, but to what extent is the question. Most of the kids protesting, I believed, did not fully understand climate change or global warming, and this is true of adults. Maybe 5% of people have a handle on global warming. Maybe 1% or less fully understand it, or at least just about fully understand it. The movement's become quite a religious type of movement. Facts and figures hardly count anymore. It's how you feel about the topic. We've had these doomsday movements regularly. This is an important one. In the 1970s, Paul Ehrlich said that the population was growing at such a rate that there'd be major problems by now. And there are problems, but they're not to the extent that Paul Ehrlich said. Now, there are serious young kids who do know a fair bit about the area. They're not airheads, but many of the kids just go along with the protests for the ride, for the fun, to enjoy being part of a group that has some meaning, any meaning. Now, with big group meetings or these types of things in the past, such as Woodstock, it was love, music and self-awareness. Though there were marches anti-Vietnam and banned the bomb even earlier. Here with climate change, we have a very serious topic. And, some people will be dedicated, but most won't. Some people will be looking at opportunities for fun and meeting the opposite sex, or, to be more politically correct, a partner these days. The issue of global warming is so complex that reaching valid, solid conclusions is difficult, impossible. I realise that much, even though I'm not a climate or global scientist. I've done a fair bit of scientific method in a master's degree, so I realise the difficulties of getting a valid result from any research. Now, our general reporters have usually had 3 years training, and the training has been very broad. They wouldn't have done a special subject on climate change, although some of them might have done a project on it for a semester. Now, these general reporters have done journalism, not all of them, but quite a few of them, because they're not any good at science or maths. So when they come to report on it, they're pretty naive, pretty uninformed, and so their reports aren't so good. As well as this, they learn through their journalist course and just common sense that catastrophe or doomsday sells. Good news, doesn't sell very well. In fact, catastrophe is the media's bread and butter. That's how they make their money. That's how they get their advertising. That's how they sell lots of newspapers or get people to watch their TV programs. Where there is no catastrophe, they will manufacture it to get an audience. I will have to do more study or work in this area. I don't expect to become an expert, but rather just better informed. At the present stage, I'm lukewarm and a mild sceptic. But I do realise that for me to become an expert, the maths and even the scientific methods may be beyond me in trying to understand them fully or following a research article. But I've got to become better informed. It's a very important issue, if not the most important of issues. What concerns me now? Well, things related to this. I'm very concerned about waste disposal, especially but not only plastics. Before a manufacturer is able to manufacture a product, they should get approval from someone, and I don't want it to be too bureaucratic, that says their way of disposing of this product when it's no longer of any use, or their suggestions are appropriate. But anyhow, as I've said, I've got to become much more informed on global warming. We all have to, but we've got to approach it with objectivity and balance, not a religious fervour. Thank you.